This is C.SQUARED, where every conversation is a crucial conversation. With your hosts, Rebecca Mitchell, Miguel Buhanda, and Anthony Walker. Today's co-hosts are Ivan Daniel and Nabor Arias. Welcome to C.SQUARED.
Hey, welcome to C.SQUARED. I'm your host, Miguel Buhanda.
I'm your host, Anthony.
And I'm Rebecca.
And today's co-host is Ivan and Nabor. Welcome, guys.
Hey,
Hi.
thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank
for coming.
you.
Awesome. So what we're going to be talking about is nightlife. And one of the big things about nightlife is our two co-hosts are really involved in the nightlife and among other things. So Ivan, Nabor, tell us a little bit about what y'all do.
Okay, so I'll go first?
Yes.
Okay. So my name is Ivan Daniel. I'm the CEO and founder of Ivan Daniel Productions, okay? We are a strategic events planning company focusing on nightlife in the LGBT community. So awesome. I like to say that we celebrate and enhance diversity in American culture, African American culture, you know, with branding opportunities for the community and making sure that we crack another ceiling in the nightlife, you know.
That's awesome.
Bring it all together.
Awesome.
You know?
That's great. Great. Thanks, Ivan. Nabor?
Hey, what's up? So I'm Nabor, and I actually have two nights that I do. My friend Ricardo and I started a night called Puteria, which is a Latino night we do at the precinct. We do it every third Saturday of the month, so it's Las Comadres Presentan Puteria. Nice. And then at the Fault Line, every first Saturday of the month, I do a night called Notorious. It's our 90s hip hop and R&B night that I just started, I believe, at the end of last year. So yeah, and both of them took off.
How many ladies' nights do you guys have?
Well, my night, I make sure it's a queer night. So that means everybody's welcomed. So yeah, I don't want to be like, oh, you can't come in here because of this.
And for me, I've done my best to, you know, invite the women to the actual events. However, in Los Angeles, I am, in over 15 years that I've been doing this, you know, it's like the women want to party with the women, the men want to party with the men. Yeah, I like it all too. And so what I do is I make sure that I have female, you know, exotic dancers, something that women will feel comfortable also, you know, and then I try to bring in some female promoters also.
And it's really interesting that because, you know, back in the 90s and, you know, when I first came out, when I was a spring chicken, you know, I would go out and I used to go to a lot of the parties that used to throw back in the day. And, you know, we're talking a little earlier in regards to going out in Los Angeles and how that was. And, you know, it's really important to realize that social media has completely changed that. We used to use the nightlife to meet people. That was a thing, right? We didn't have apps. Yeah. We didn't have any of those things. Yeah. So now it's a lot apps. You're looking, you're swiping right, swiping left, and that's how you meet people. And that's how so how has social media really changed the landscape of meeting people and nightclubs? Because it has changed it, hasn't it?
Yeah.
What do y'all think?
I think it's made it more boring, to be honest with you. I would rather meet somebody face to face than through swiping left or right. Okay. Because that's just, I don't know, it's boring. I'd rather be out partying on a go-go box, dancing my ass off. Oh, I can't say ass. But I'd rather be on a dance floor talking to somebody, having a little champagne. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, nice. What do y'all think? And since you guys promote, like, how has the landscape changed for you since you still are currently in the running on parties?
Well, there's two ways to approach that question. First of all, from a business aspect, it has hurt tremendously the nightlife scene, okay? Right. Because people don't have to leave their homes. They can basically socialize in the cyber, you know, from that point. Now, because I am a promoter and because I like the energy of people being gathered in a space, I mean, I really want people to come. I mean, I'm with you. I think that it's so much more.
Off your phone.
Yeah, you
off
know,
your phone.
It's so much more connection if you get to a place and you get to see a person. Then you can't have the falseness either that social media also gives. You know, because you can put anything up there, but when you're in a club, you have to engage. So it has affected it. I think that especially the younger generation doesn't have as good of social skills. You know.
Well, see, my understanding is, would you say that it's social media in general, or is it the way that you market yourself? Couldn't you think outside of the box, knowing that social media is taking over the way that it is?
Oh yeah, well we've had to. I mean, that's the natural wave of what's happened. You had to, more or less adjust with social media. So what we do is, we make sure that we're on all platforms. We make sure that we film or shoot or take that and make sure that people aren't engaged from whatever point. I think that where I was going with his, that he's like, how has it affected? I was just giving you the bullet points to let you know that it's affected it this way, it's affected that way. But we've had to win. And it's a blessing because we don't have to put flyers on cars and run up and down the street.
Even though I still do flyers and put my posts everywhere.
Don't stop doing flyers.
Right.
How do you promote your events?
Well, definitely social media, and also it helps when you are known. Being somebody in the community. I will definitely say that working at Rough Trade Gear, the leather store in Silver Lake, that has connected me with a lot of people. Yes. And I see everybody. And yeah, I definitely, the leather community is part of me, right. And with the nightlife, it just kind of rolled into me working the door for somebody. So I started working in the door at Bump, which is a night that Jeff Razul does at the Akbar, and then from there I was hosting a night called Rough Sex that still goes on at the Eagle, right. And and then from there it just kind of like. Things started changing.
So what happens at the Rough Sex night?
Rough sex. Rough sex.
Explain that. Explain that. How
It's a leather fetish night. We have free clothes check. So you can come in. We have DJ Steve Cunningham.
Okay, clothes check. Yeah.
A clothes
check.
check.
People take off their clothes.
Naked or something.
So you can walk around. You can walk around in there and enjoy yourself. Check your clothes in.
You can be nude?
You cannot be nude.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, there's
So it's down
You can show all the ass you want, but no
genitalia.
No, none of the meat.
Got it.
None of that.
None of the meat, none of the whole.
There's enough meat on stage anyway.
Right?
But it's a good night. So those things that I got involved with were because of the store I work at. They started sponsoring it, and then I started dressing the dancers.
Definitely.
And that kind of got me the ball rolling in where I wanted to go. And then, social media plays a big part of it. Instagram, now Snapchat, which I'm trying to get the hang of that one.
You're doing fine. I follow you on Snap. But it was interesting because thinking about back in the day, in the 90s to 2000s, and we advertised very differently. I remember when MySpace came up and all these different things happened, right? But ultimately it's changed because it's good in the sense that it helps us promote, but at the same time, it disconnects them from people. I see people on the phones all the time. I've gone on dates or I'll be on dating and stuff like that, and or with my friends, and all of us are on our phones, right?
That's a new way of communication.
But you know what? It doesn't hurt to look at, open a social app and check it. I'm like, oh, who's here?
Yeah, right.
Who's here?
But it's not good to do that when you're on a date. Don't do that on a date.
I'm talking about going out at a club because you want to see who's there. And you're like, oh, he's 30 feet away. Let's
I see somebody on the dance floor on their phone. I have to go up to them and tell them, "Do you remember where you're at? You're on a dance floor. What are you doing on the phone in the middle of the dance floor?"
I love her. She is a renegade for the nightlife. I remember
It is a young person.
Down.
But it also helps.
No.
It helps get people there.
I don't say it's a young person thing because older people, they're on
Yo,
their
yeah,
phones
everybody's
more
doing
than
it now.
Everybody
nowadays.
now. No.
We were just taking selfies.
Now maybe it's you. Maybe you can say that.
Now I'm doing that too.
Yeah, it has really become a part of the texture of our society now. I just recommend that when you go out, experience that environment. If it's the beach, if it's the mountains, if it's the club,
be in the
wherever,
moment.
be in the moment a little bit more and let your phone rest for a second so that, that you can get the experience, because to me, you can have your phone anywhere.
Right.
You don't always get this opportunity.
It disconnects you from the moment that you're in, the people that you're with.
It doesn't really actually disconnect me. I can look at my phone and still be there.
People get zoned in though.
But
They're
I
like,
get what
I'm
you're
just going to
saying.
check this one thing.
Right.
5 minutes later, they're ignoring all the people they're with.
A quick question for you. As far as you doing the promotion in the club scene, as far as how can you assure, with a lot of things going on, the safety? It's a lot of people getting into fights and everything like that. So many people don't want to go out because they're scared that something may happen. And how do y'all protect, with the community with that in the social scene?
Well, security does help. We are always checking when with Puteria being at the precinct. That is a Latin night last year with the Orlando tragedy, that hit home for us. For anybody in our community, that runs a club or anything, just because you think, oh my God, that could have been here. And we've all had to step up and check and make sure we go through people's bags, because we gotta keep everybody safe. We gotta check everybody's ID, and
Right after Orlando shooting, I remember going to Precinct at the club. I think it was one of your nights, and I was there, and I started drinking. I started feeling really uncomfortable.
Oh, wow.
I was just like, did the security guard check me? Is he checking people?
Right.
And I got too drunk and I just left.
No,
But it got scary.
Yeah. To answer that question, the first thing that's, because I go from back in the day to current, okay, and there used to be somewhere that the guys used to meet at First Fridays to fight, because there was just the phones. The first thing you negotiate is safety. Second thing you do is a sensitivity training with the entire establishment, whether you're doing a night or a club. You have to make sure that they understand the demographic that's getting ready to come. And you have to make sure that you frisk everybody, and you have to have a promoter is an influencer and has a great relationship with the community.
Awesome. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a few minutes. Okay. But let's go ahead into our next segment on Boots on the Ground, yeah?
So, welcome to Crucial Conversations. This is Boots on the Ground, and I'm your host, Brandon Burciaga. Today I'm here with Lamisha, the beautiful Lamisha. Check her out. She's beat today. She just ready to go. Sorry.
Ready.
So, we're gonna have a couple crucial conversations. Are you ready?
Yes.
Couple topics. Let's talk about, what's your take on open relationships?
Open relationships? I'm not a fan of open relationships at all.
Why?
I can't take it. I'm too jealous. I can't do it. I don't want to be with anybody else, and I don't want them to be with anybody else. If they want to do that, we just won't be in a relationship.
Right, that's like your property. Like,
yes,
no, don't touch.
It's mine. I don't want anybody to touch it, and I'm pretty sure they'll feel the same about me once I get them.
Okay, so it's a little lighter topic.
Okay.
Let's go a little heavier. I know it's been talked about. It's kind of being like wah, wah, wah. But what's your take on Donald Trump, on the whole new administration? The wonderful administration we have.
I think that the administration was picked for a reason. Donald Trump is an asshole. He's all of the above. Sorry if I can't say that. But he's all of the above. He's literally the scum of the earth. And these people picked him to be the president because of racism, if you ask me. I think that the only reason that the majority of people picked him is because they thought that he was going to do something that would happen a long time ago, make America great again, like Hitler said. So I just don't agree with any of it. You're talking about, I just read something yesterday talking about the kids shouldn't get free lunch anymore because they don't think it's going to help them focus in school. He said that it was a proven fact that it won't help. But I'm a teacher, and it definitely helps for the kids to eat breakfast in the morning. If they can't afford it, we should be able to provide it for them. Plain and simple.
These kids, all these kids asking for food and education, such big demands. Like,
Right.
Oh man. Actually, I heard one of the comments that was made by the administration that said, well, maybe lower income people should stop buying iPhones and start paying for healthcare.
Well, maybe so. I don't know. But I'm not trying to check anybody's pockets, and neither should the government.
Hey, welcome back to C.SQUARED. We have a couple of guest hosts today, Matt and Tito.
Yeah.
Hey, how you guys? Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit what y'all do in the nightlife.
At 96, I'm a theme park designer. It's very, very different from any other nightlife stuff. But after that, I started a music video production company that shoots a lot of the videos for the nightlife scene in downtown LA and Silver Lake. Oh, nice. And then on my other time, then I'm a nightlife host and performer.
Oh, okay. So where in LA do you have these events?
Usually in Silver Lake and in the downtown LA area, all the queer clubs.
Nice. And any particular nights do you?
Usually Fridays at Queen Kong.
Oh, Queen Kong.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I've been there. I live in downtown, so I really enjoy that.
On the big old ferry with the fan.
I've seen it.
For those who don't know, explain what Queen Kong is.
Queen Kong is kind of the downtown Friday monster. It's kind of taken off over. It's been on for like a year and a little bit more than a year now. And basically, it's a weekly Friday drag show / dance party, and it's hosted by the Boulay brothers. And it's usually probably the best names in drag and the best names in queer art.
And one of the things I really like about this particular night is that a lot of the drag queens are not necessarily traditional drag queens. They're it's very eclectic, and a lot of them wear their beards in their drag. So tell me a little about that, because I don't know. It's kind of new to me.
Silver Lake in downtown LA celebrates the uncelebrated, I think. And I think there's this sort of stereotypical vision of drag that I think the downtown LA and Silver Lake area tries to fight. And I think there's a lot of queer art when it comes to the drag scene that is very, very experimental, and a lot more about the production, a lot more about delivering a concept rather than simply being a man in a dress.
Nice. Okay, I don't look good in a dress. I look like a big girl. I won't see you in no dress. I always keep my facial hair.
Oh, you look good.
So Matt, Adonis LA Lounge, right?
Adonis Lounge LA.
And thank you for
close.
No, okay. So tell us a little bit what y'all do.
Well, we do very little and we do a lot. So it's kind of a combination.
What's the very little part?
We do a lot with kind of nationally. We're a nationally recognized brand and show, primarily the #1 male-for-male strip show in the country. So we do shows in LA, New York City, Palm Springs, and sometimes Vegas.
Where are we going tonight?
It's hard to find. Maybe I just don't know where to look. Where is this at?
We do Food Bar on Wednesdays and Sunday nights here in West Hollywood. We do Palm Springs on Thursday nights, and in New York we run nightly. Nice. Vegas we do pop-ups here and there on occasion, and that's kind of the general gist of the show. It's pretty much the hottest guys you'll ever find in underwear under one roof. We usually have 20 to 40 dancers per show. Wow! So it's a big deal, and again, it's the top caliber talent that we bring in for that.
Is it like choreographed, or is it just guys doing their thing, freestyle?
It's kind of a strip club format. So you'll have a guy on stage for 2 songs. He rotates out, the next guy comes up, and it's kind of that type of rotation. So it's constant eye candy, constant visual eye candy.
Is it an interracial?
Oh yeah, it's everything. Everyone's welcome. It's geared towards the gay male crowd, but I mean, we get everybody. We get girls that come in. We get obviously the trans community. Yeah, we get some of those too. We book guys out for a lot of bachelorette parties, bachelor parties, birthday parties, stuff like that. So
because I've seen women strippers at the strip joints. I know back in the day. I know.
Hey, we've all been there.
Don't tell anybody.
Don't tell anybody. But the thing is, what's the difference between like a heterosexual woman strip joint versus a all male strip? I mean, is there a difference? Like, talking about audience interaction. I don't know.
I don't think it is a difference. They take their clothes off.
Yeah, you know what, Miguel? It's actually a great question. I used to work at Hollywood Men also, so I was a stripper for 7 years here in LA, geared towards the female audience. Those shows are much more like a Magic Mike type. You come out in a costume, it's one guy at a time with a couple of backup dancers, it's fully choreographed, it's a big stage production. But the great thing about the Adonis Lounge shows is that you can have so many more guys working them because you don't have necessarily all the professional theatrics of all that. It's strictly based upon hot guys in underwear, you can't get them anywhere else. So with that format, we can bring so many more guys and so many more hot caliber guys to the forefront using that format. And that goes for the gay crowd, the straight crowd, whatever. So everyone's welcome.
Nice. And the whole idea of like straight men working with the gay community, how does that work with, like, when you hire somebody to work on your crowd? Hey, we're going to be dancing for dudes. Like, how does that work? Like, what kind of conversations do you have with them?
This is a really good question, Miguel. I like to say it's all 50 shades of gay. What's straight anymore? What's gay? What's the gray areas?
That's what I call gray.
Yeah,
everything
it's just
from A to Z is gray.
Yeah, it really is at this point.
A whole bunch of freaks.
Yeah, we've got dancers that are straight. We've got dancers that are gay, dancers that are bi, dancers that are gay for pay. You name it, we've got it, and every different size, shape, color, everything else. So we really have a tremendous representation across the entire spectrum of appealing guys and hot guys for the customer.
So they're all hot guys.
Yeah, I mean, we have a pretty high standard.
What is the standard?
Yeah,
what is describe the standard?
Because
we gonna see.
I kind of like bears. Do you have any bear dancers? I mean,
We actually do.
you know what's a bear? I like black bears. I mean, that's a good right.
We really do. We have at least one or two of everything. You know, almost every show. So. Whatever your tastes are, whether you're a female, whether you're a male, we have someone who will appeal to you, guaranteed.
I don't know. I had to check out my show.
What is your audition process like? Describe like what do you?
Anthony said,
What? Show us the audition.
Yeah, for real. Come on.
I'd love to, but it's X-rated. So. Right. Hey, when the cameras go off.
Okay, so question for both of you. What got you guys into this particular type? Because two different types of industries in the same genre, right?
Yeah.
Well, not genre, whatever. But it's kind of the same entertainment business, right? But two totally different sides. What got you guys into this particular type of work?
I started clubbing in New York, and it was a very, very different thing over there.
Yeah,
and it was also the time when I was, starting to come out, a little boy in the big city, like, what is going on? And looking at all the clubs and everything, all the club kids, and I kind of became obsessed with all of it. And then I moved to LA. And I started going out in West Hollywood for a minute, but then I kind of discovered the Silver Lake scene, and I kind of fell in love with the people and the community, and I ended up gravitating towards there. And then the downtown LA scene, which is completely blown up in the last year and a half.
Year and a half.
Yeah.
I just moved downtown, so.
It's good.
I had no idea downtown.
Downtown is amazing.
Yeah. It's exploded.
It is.
So I'm pretty sure, our viewers want to know, your male dancers, are they semi-hard? Are they hard? Like, how dancing wise?
Look your cock rings.
What does that mean hard? Like,
hard? Rock hard.
I hope you know what that means.
My answer to that question are you're going to have to feel for yourself to determine what's hard and what's not hard.
I see what you did.
Right? A lot of times just the interaction gets guys excited and stuff like that. Yeah. So, it's kind of a natural interaction. But I got started in this kind of in a roundabout way. I used to work on Wall Street down in New York as well.
Wow.
So I kind of came from a business financial background, and I wanted to get into modeling somehow, but with the hours I was keeping, it was just impossible. So I looked for weekend work, and it turned out the only thing you could do on weekends and make some money is stripping. So I started out in that, and I brought my little brother onto it as well. He's about 6 years younger than me. And very quickly, he surpassed me. He went into the gay scene as well and started making a ton of money there. Brought me into the gay scene as a dancer as well. And then he started Adonis Lounge in New York about 7 years ago. He branded the format, created the entire show and everything. And then about 4 years ago, he was asking me, what are you doing in LA? What's going on? And I was like, nothing. I'm trying to be an actor and a model like everybody else. And I was going nowhere.
Sounds like LA.
Yeah,
everybody wants to be.
So, I was booking some fitness stuff at the time and whatnot, but it wasn't enough. So I was looking at, what's the next steps? And he's like, Matt, it's time to do Adonis Lounge LA.
Awesome.
And that was the impetus to kind of get it going out here. So. And then since then, we've been able to expand to Palm Springs and Vegas, and we got a good thing going.
Congratulations!
Thank you, both of you. Actually, it's really nice to be able to see diversity amongst in our community from drag, and it's not necessarily traditional drag, to dancing, stripping in a not traditional sense. So I think it's very important for us to realize that there's so much diversity in our community, and we'll definitely appreciate that. So thanks very much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Our pleasure. Thanks for having us. You guys are great.
Okay, we got to take a break now, but stay tuned. We got a little surprise for you. Watch.
Today, I am here with these lovely women who are from
Ohio.
Wait, let's try one more time. We're from
Ohio.
Ohio. What's the whole take on Donald Trump and his administration?
Well, I think right now everybody's just hoping that he's going to do the best he can. And that's all we can do is hope for the best, and let's just see what happens, because there's really nothing we can do about it except for hang on tight and hope it goes well.
I can't vote yet, so go America.
I like that. So we have hang on tight and I can't vote, so go America. Yeah, I mean, it's all we have at this point, essentially, whether we can vote or not. So let's see. With that said, I mean, you're from Ohio, so it's not necessarily hit so hard over there. But over here, the whole immigration, build the wall, and all that stuff. What's your take on all that?
Well, I feel like, of course, it's America, so we want everyone to be welcome here. But I think it's a sign of the times we live in that sometimes you just have to be careful and, you know, just take every precaution we can to make sure that the people who are coming here are safe. That's all. I mean, it's not that we don't want to welcome everyone. I think it's just a matter of just checking credentials to make sure everyone is who they say they are.
Hey, welcome back to C.SQUARED. We got a little surprise for you today. So, Matt, I hear you brought a couple of friends with you.
We did, actually. So for those of you that are just joining us, we're Adonis Lounge LA. We do shows at Foo Bar every Wednesday and Sunday night here in West Hollywood. And I brought down some of our top guys to give you a little Q&A, any questions you have about the industry or what they do. And then we might have them do something a little hot and steamy for you after that. So, I'm going to let them introduce themselves, starting with Alfie. Guys, maybe just tell the guys about yourselves, where you're from.
Yeah, of course. I'm Hungarian, ex-stripper, retired Canadian, featuring Adonis. I'm a headliner pretty much every month. I'm doing the shows in New York, Miami, and LA.
Hello, I'm Lupe Santiago. They call me Mr. Charm, Mr. Charisma, Mr. Personality for many, many reasons. So.
My name is Chris. I go by Sam on stage, and I work coast to coast, pretty much the LA and the New York City shows. Been doing it for about 1 year.
How are you guys doing? My name is Madison from New York. One of the smaller guys, taller guys, ripped, shredded from New York. Likes to have a good time. I travel a lot. Fashion model, Calvin Klein. You better know it.
Back to the future.
Hey, he's here. Calvin Klein over here. He's here. Nice. So guys, I thank you all for being here for starters. So how do you guys like the LA scene versus the New York scene in regards to the dancing? What are your mindset like?
This is my first trip to Los Angeles.
Oh, welcome.
I've been here about 4 days now.
Tell us, how do you prepare, for a show? What do you do? Do you
mentally,
physically?
Yeah,
What do you do to prepare to make yourself look delicious and shit?
Honestly, I just keep my look pretty natural. The biggest thing for me is just working out a lot, just working out and watching my diet, and that's pretty much it. Just take really good care of yourself, and you'll do well.
I've been doing this for 4 years, so when I first started, of course, it was like I had to mentally prepare myself. But more now, it's become more natural. That's why I say Mr. Charm, Mr. Charisma, because the personality comes off. And I tell a lot of these guys, you just got to go up to talk to people. And
do you guys do any themed costuming, or is it just regular, kind of vanilla?
I'm known by Sean James. Sean James is the guy who rolls up in his uniform and gets the girls arrested, or the guys who have been the good about
All right, well, thanks, guys.
Awesome. All right, guys, thank you so much. Now, what we're gonna do is we got a little surprise. So take it away, Matt.
Yeah, I think, guys, you should really showcase your skills and give some of the hosts a lap dance, show them how we do it at Adonis Lounge. So we need you guys over there, and guys, take your shirts off. Yeah, go ahead, go.
Anthony would like to go.
Shirts off, though, shirts off.
I like that.
It's sexy and you know it. 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 Do you like what you see? 'Cause I like what you be. Come on, show your sexuality. If you can feel the beat, I know you'll understand me. Relationship, the language between our bodies so explosive. It's sexy and you know it.
Just stay tuned. We're gonna have some more fun in a little bit, okay? We'll see you back in a bit.
It's sexy. sexy and you know your move.
Welcome back to C.SQUARED. Ooh, I'm hot. That was a pretty.
That was the one steamy moment.
God.
There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on.
You can see what you was doing.
I saw what you were doing. I'm just glad they included a little bit of a bear there. I mean, that was just. I was like, oh, that one's it.
That little twink was working it on you.
I know. I was like, eat a cheeseburger, eat a cheeseburger. No, I was.
You're like, there's tacos over there.
Oh, there's tacos. Yes. So welcome back, Ivan and Nabor. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So, joining us also, Chris, our executive producer. What you think? You saw the craziness going on with the dancers?
I saw a lot. A lot. Your faces were priceless.
Well, I feel a little, warm in all the wrong places.
I'm not expecting that one.
And I'm not a shy person, but I was shy as hell.
Wow. You're acting.
Those hands were not shy.
Call them out.
So, Chris, what do you think about any body image issues that we have in our club scene? How do you feel? Where is that going these days?
Body image is a big issue, and it's not just like on the gay side, it's on the straight side too, but more so on the gay side. Because if you look at any imagery, any flyers, unless it's specifically like a bare event, they're going to be like these gym bunnies with six packs, and expectations run amok. And it's really rough out there for those of us that don't fit into that mold.
One good thing about the community that's turned in these last 20 years, we've gotten so many different bars and clubs that actually cater to different people of different sizes, different, interests. For example, the bear community, the leather community. There's so many different type of clubs out there that cater to that. Sometimes, I was a twink once back in the day. Now I'm a long time ago. Don't get shady. But now able to go to, and now that I'm getting to my 40s, I feel more comfortable going to a place where people of different sizes are there hanging out. And it's a little bit more, liberating. And I think
I agree. It's definitely changed a lot over the years.
But,
there's a lot more acceptability.
But definitely there's a lot of, when it comes to body issues, like Chris was mentioning, that, we have to, consider the fact that there are clubs that cater to the, people that work out.
And that's what it is.
But, luckily the people are including everybody because it's not only just looks, it's also age, styles and stuff like that. There's so many diversity.
Well, we're in Los Angeles, so you do have a melting pot of everything. Every ethnicity, every size, every age, and you will find that, I know that you probably can agree, that you will find that specific parties or themed parties or clubs probably should cater to that, so that people have that comfortability level.
But I like to have it more like an all-inclusive. I want everybody there.
I do too.
You know what I mean? I don't want to turn you away because you ain't big enough, or you ain't wearing leather, or whatever. So I want, if you want to come in your leather, in your drag, you want to bring your girls, bring your boys, just bring it. Let's make the party happen. Let's keep it popping.
See, those are the kind of parties that I actually go for. I actually have to scan the flyer and go to the website and be like, what is this crowd like? Who's going to be there? Am I going to fit in, or am I just going to be a waste of time?
Yeah. Right. And thinking back in the day when West Hollywood was that, it's primarily white. It was primarily older white. I remember my first gay club was Mickey's, and I didn't necessarily feel like eventually Latin nights started popping up, and I felt more included. I love going to black nights, where we have the music, the people. I remember the disappearance of the Study, the disappearance of Circus and Arena in Los Angeles. That changed the landscape of what, like people of color and clubs. That changed a lot. So, as promoters, and maybe y'all, I'm sure we all go to clubs. How does that change the fact that we've lost people of color clubs, specifically catering to our community? How does that change?
Well, for me, I think like when Arena and Circus the rumors were out there for years that they were going to close and it was going to be done, and then it finally happened, and then a matter of months, it was like it didn't even exist.
Well, that's because
flat.
That's because people in the urban community don't want to spend money. And that's the whole situation. I mean, we need to come together, you know, as far as that and spend money, but we won't spend money. But we'll go to the other club and spend money there, but won't spend money on our own.
Well, they didn't have issues not getting people there. They were always busy.
Yeah, but you
they
can get
sold.
there, but alcohol sales matter. It don't matter how many people you have at their door unless you're selling that alcohol.
And to piggyback on what Anthony is saying, it is a challenge in the urban communities, especially I'm gonna say the African American community. The Catch One recently closed, okay? And Jewel just actually got to a place where she was tired. You know, she wanted to move on in her life, and the Edelsons now own it now. The Horizon, the Papa Bears, there was a lot of urban clubs that were like in Inglewood or Mid-City and stuff like that. The club owners just aged out, okay? Now, the other part of it is that also, as you were saying, to solidify your point, is that the alcohol sales do matter. And urban communities tend to have pre-games, pre-party. You know what I mean? And this is a weed smoking. Yeah, this is a weed smoking generation. They're not so much as a drinking. You know what I mean? So that has affected it. And I would say that the urban communities should have done more with the atmosphere. Come up to the standards of what clubs are generally across the nation. Because you know, you've got New York, you've got Vegas. Well, those are pinnacles there. And then the urban clubs, you know, needed to come up a little faster, I would say, to give that same ambiance, you know. And then I know I brought them to West Hollywood, and West Hollywood seemed to be safer.
Well, let's speak on that. Like you bring them to, you know, Sunday's Penthouse and everything, and they like the niceness and all of that. They want to, you know, as far as we want to live the lavish life, but they have to understand that things cost. You know, to rent a space, it costs. But you want to go somewhere nice, but you don't want to spend the money. You want the promoters to give you a nice place. It's like, no, we're not going to a home party. We're actually going somewhere where it's nice, and we have to pay out of pocket first.
Oh my God.
We're not only there for the dancers, you know, and that's where we as a community don't look at it. And then it's cliquish. We're very cliquish people.
That's right.
Who's going there? This clique is here. Oh, that person does that. I don't want to go there and that, instead of just supporting everybody.
I love where you're going with that.
Chris, I got a question for you, Ivan. So, for instance, talking about that, is there a difference trying to open one in, like, say, Inglewood versus West Hollywood?
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's definitely, first of all, it's really about economics. If you go in Inglewood, like there's a space right now that I'm looking at, pennies on the dollar, maybe $200,000 to get the license, to get the leasing, and the probably to renovate, maybe $600,000. You go to West Hollywood or anything north of Wilshire, you can't even start having a conversation unless you're talking about $1 million to $2 million.
Yeah.
You know, and then you have to make that money back, you guys. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is the initial investment. This is not your operating costs. It's not all of the red tape. And California actually has a lot of red tape, but that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah, and it's really interesting to realize that, you know, geography plays a big part of it too.
Yes.
Like I used to live in West Hollywood for just a short time, and everyone's like, oh, people in West Hollywood. But the thing is, it's like the people that actually bring that attitude into the West Hollywood don't live there because it's very expensive to live there.
Yeah.
So, and back to Anthony's point, like it costs money. People need to spend money, and people, unfortunately, in our communities, they act like they have money, they don't.
Well, I liked West Hollywood. I like West Hollywood because it was safe for us. It was safe. You know what I mean? I noticed that, especially in the black community, where I was taking them certain places, and it was not always as safe. You know what I'm saying? Because the kids gonna hang out. They're gonna hang out in their cars. They're gonna do the after party, all that. I felt that West Hollywood was the safest place for us. Now, was it accepting of us? You know, you had a few, but now it's kind of dissipated again.
Yeah. But when I first came out, I didn't even know anything besides West Hollywood. I knew Arena, Circus, and WeHo, you know, and I think I would come down. I would go to Oz.
Yes, I loved Oz. I mean, we were having to talk about that. That's fun.
But yeah, so my whole thing is that when I discovered Silver Lake, I was like, oh my God. And my friend was like, hey, we're going to go to the gay ghetto. I was like, gay ghetto? They're like, yeah, the gay ghetto. I was like, What is that?
And that's
Yeah.
considered.
And that was big. Well,
was a
compared to
gig.
WeHo, and then you went to Fault Line,
And
the
now,
Gauntlet.
now downtown.
And now
is a
downtown
big
is a big
boost.
thing.
And actually, it's become much more open, accessible, and it's in the middle of the city, so it's kind of cool.
Well, there's a challenge with that because of the condo associations. There's so many apartments around there, noise ordinances.
Noise, yeah.
You know,
Noise.
so it's always something.
Yeah, definitely.
But you gotta expect that in downtown.
Yeah.
You know, if you're gonna live downtown, you gotta expect noise.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
And now we're going to have a C-squared pop culture moment with Thomas Olina.
What's up, world? Welcome to C-Squared Pop Culture Moments with me, your host, Thomas Erlina. Creating some drama is inevitable if you're in the spotlight, and in this edition, we'll be highlighting one dramatic rap feud, accusations between housewives, and a not-so-friendly exchange between the 45th president and a popular retail store. Now, when it comes to the female rap game, there are definitely two standout names that made headlines this year, Nicki Minaj and Remy Ma. These two rhyming divas got into an all-out battle which had memes flying all over the internet. The multiple award-winning Minaj was accused of throwing shade to the Castle Hill Bronx rapper, which reignited their historic feud. If you're a huge fan of the Bravo network like I am, one thing we can agree on is the Real Housewives franchise is lit. Over in the 90210, Lisa Rinna found herself in hot water with the Richards sisters. It all started when Lisa Rinna blurted out to housewife Eden Sassoon that she felt Kim was, quote, mostly sober and was, quote, close to death. It's no secret President Trump has had quite the history of expressing exactly how he feels on his Twitter account, but it was on February 8th when he fired a controversial tweet to retail giant Nordstrom. His tweet stated, "My daughter Ivanka has been treated so unfairly by Nordstrom. She is a great person, always pushing me to do the right thing. Terrible. I can only imagine what hijinks and drama lie ahead." Thanks for hanging out. That's all I have for you on this edition of C-Squared Pop Culture Moments with me, Thomas Erlina. To keep track of what I'm up to, follow me at Thomas Erlina on my Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and Facebook. Now let's get back to your crucial conversation.
Welcome back to C-Squared. Thank you very much. So I just want to thank our guests, co-hosts. Thank you so much for coming out and joining us. Ivan and Nabor, thank you so much. You guys want to just say final words?
Yeah, well, first of all, I want to thank Rebecca, Anthony, and Miguel. Thank you for having me on. It's a great conversation. Great crew, also. And my name is Ivan Daniel Productions. You can Google me. Instagram is Functions, Funktions, and also Twitter, Ivan in LA.
Hi, and I'm Nabor. Well, obviously you guys know that now. But thank you guys for having me here.
Thank you.
Please come out to Notorious. I do every first Saturday of the month a hip hop and R&B night at the Fault Line called Notorious. And of course, La Comadre Ricardo and I bring to you every third Saturday of the month Puteria, Latino night at the Precinct in downtown LA.
Again, thanks guys. So again, thank you very much for watching today. Follow us on social media at the links below. And this is C-Squared. We're out.
Whoever could we be? I can never be nothing but authentically me. If you're looking for a place to have crucial conversations, no longer have to fear, cause you can have them here.